Hi everyone, welcome to this reading. So I'm just going to dive into this one. We're just going to dive into this one. I don't know if I can't tell if this is going to be a long reading or a short reading, so I kind of want to just get into it. The first card that's coming out is this card. It's Starseed. So I'm definitely speaking to the Starseed collective here. If you're new to my channel, you're new to like spiritual topics and you don't know what that means, it simply means that you feel that your soul didn't necessarily originate or wasn't necessarily meant for Earth. That you may have your origination in the stars, in another universe, something like that. So we have these two cards that are coming out next, and this is really telling me the theme of what we're dealing with. This is speaking to a particular starseed collective where we've been in a very long sort of dark night, or just a period of our life where our eyes were not opened to our own authenticity. It was not opened to how clearly we affect our own realities, right? This is a state most people live in. They're very much asleep. We tend to think of, understanding that there's a spiritual reality as being awakened. And it can be, that the definition of awakened, I really think it depends on the person. But in very deep esoteric circles, the definition of being awakened is, do we understand that we are the ones creating this? Someone here is starting to understand something, right? Something in alignment to your own awakening, your ideas of awakening. For some of you, it might be that you're starting to understand that you actually control a larger part of this than you realized previously, that you're not a victim of your circumstances, and that your circumstances have been created by your soul for your lessons to be learned, no matter how difficult they were, no matter how early they were, that there's something here inside the soul that is trying to work itself out during its life experiences here on Earth. Some of you are realizing that. Some of you are coming to a space where you're simply realizing that you need to heal. Some of you are coming to a space where you're simply realizing that there's something more than what you previously believed, right? So what this is here that's being cracked open is going to be different for everybody. But we are leaving behind some era of darkness in our lives. Meaning not, to demonize the dark, just a time of unawareness. I'll put it that way, a time of unawareness. In this time of unawareness, we usually have gone through some very hard life experiences, right? There seems to be this added energy that is coming in. So some of you may be receiving activations or downloads at this time, just understanding things without knowing how you understand them, receiving information without understanding where it's coming from, things like that. Okay. There seems to be a little bit of a pause, like we're slightly hesitant. Some of you may be afraid of what is opening up before you, because we may have some sort of illusion that we've projected on it. So I see this oftentimes when people, for example, are involved in a religion that tells them that everything around them is evil, right? Or that choosing themselves or doing things for themselves is not necessarily good. That comes from other places, right? Not just religion, but that's usually when I see that type of energy. We seem to be having a pause. Sometimes it's even the ideas held within Western society that really make us feel that certain things are maybe dark or evil or misaligned. So someone here is experiencing a pause. Not everybody within this collective. I'm just seeing it for a few of you. But all of you seem to be on the brink of this. This is death. Death really represents a transformation. Something is ending and something new is beginning. What's new is not foreseen, right? They can't see that crystal ball in their hands. The crystal ball is simply implying that there's something in the future that's coming. With the 3 or the 5 and the 3, this is a change. This is a change within our spiritual foundations. For some of you, I am going to say that some of you are opening up to a different mode of spirituality than you had previously. And again, some of you may be leaving a religion in order to do so, or you feel that it complements your religion, but you understand that the people around you won't see it that way. Some of you are really experiencing that kind of energy right now. Now, another thing to note is this drab color, right? It's very similar to the blacks and the grays on this other deck. Someone here, you were coming out of a period of depression or a period of feeling like you were walking in the dark. There was this feeling of, I know there's something more. There's something more out there. What is it, right? So even if you have already been on a spiritual path, even if you have already been on a healing journey, there's this innate understanding that there's something more that has come into play. There was just 434 as I looked up. And you may have been looking for some time, kind of spinning your wheels on trying to find this other perspective, this other leap in your own evolution. The interesting thing about this is that while we haven't perceived it, this whole transaction, this whole transformation has been actually very divinely guided. I don't know how I feel about using that term, but that term is what's coming to me, so I do have to use it. We have this, we have all these, in all these cards, this like lavender is showing up. In every single card, there's like this lavender tinge that's showing up. Even inside of this one here, we have it up here. And that for me is really speaking of this loving, comforting, nurturing energy, this very spiritual energy that is kind of with us and permeating our life and our existence. We just don't have the perception to be able to see it, right? We don't have the perception to see it. We can't see things if we don't have the eyes to see them yet. And someone here, you're on a journey to developing those eyes. With this here, we have Oh That Gnome. There's some kind of hard work that's involved in opening up this new way of being for ourselves, but we're undertaking that hard work, understanding that it has to be done. If you look at him, he's got these red nose, red cheeks, red elbows, red knees. He's been on his hands and knees, kind of crawling around, sifting through something. So for some of you, this may represent shadow work, really trying to come out the other side of something because you're trying to create something new for your future. Here we have the fairies of the future. Okay, and this is all about healing, and this is all about the things that we have learned in terms of wisdom, right? We have the sage. One eye is looking within, the other eye is examining the world. We're understanding the pattern between what's taking place inside and what is taking place outside. And there's something there within that dynamic that is starting to be healed. Some of you, and it's funny because this actually came up earlier this week for me in a part of this work that I do, the idea that sometimes in a very Jungian symbolic way, what's taking place internally is actually manifesting in our external reality. And this is where omen reading comes in, right? This is where understanding the importance of signs and not synchronicities as in numbers, though that certainly can be the case, right? Especially if you understand numerology, for example. But there is something here that is being reflected in our external reality in a very symbolic way that's trying to teach something to us. Some of you are opening up to that realization and you're starting to work with that in order to help heal yourself, in order to identify areas that still have to be healed. So I find that interesting because that typically isn't the type of work someone gets into when they haven't necessarily understood the relationship of ourselves in the mirror. Okay. Some of you in this journey of this healing, this kind of ties me back to a reading that I posted on, I believe it'll post on, it might have posted Thursday. This was an energy of somebody understanding that the vision of themselves or the view of themselves that they've had their entire lives was not necessarily the true picture. It was a picture that was given to them. Some of you are starting to realize that here with the sage to the singer of healing. And this whole process of this is really an initiation. This also came out in that reading. So you may want to go back and watch that reading. It was from, it will have probably posted on Thursday. Here, I want to show you this, how all of these are kind of speaking of that initiatory process. There were sects and cults in the past that would do their initiations through caves. And so that's kind of why that's speaking to me here, and also through passing through gateways or liminal spaces. So we have that here. This is a gateway that we're passing through that is transforming and stripping us of something as we pass through it, that is requiring us to have one eye inward, one eye outward, and to heal something as part of a process of initiation. And what we're being initiated into is a larger awareness of ourself, a larger awareness of what we're capable of our place in the universe. Now, there's going to be this energy here. This is Luathas the Wild, and Luathas the Wild has this very rampant, chaotic sort of energy that just wants to go, go, go. We find this type of energy very early on in our spiritual journey, where we're just really excited and we just want to get things done, and why aren't things moving? There's going to be a little bit of this as you're passing through these gates. The advice that's coming through for somebody, because I think some of you are actually experiencing this right now as you're passing through those gates. And so this is confirmation that this is what's happening. The advice is to learn to rein this in, right? There is a devil energy to this, meaning devil from the tarot card. There is an element of that human downfall energy that's coming here, where as people we want everything fast and we want it now, right? We want what we want it now. That's not how this works, right? That's not how this works. Everything inside of the spiritual universe is very fluid. It's like water. It flows where it will flow, and it will flow in its own time. This is a process, and it has to be done correctly in order for it to stick, in order for this initiation to truly be the initiation. And so just go with the flow, trust the process, allow yourself to heal in the way that you're healing. Don't feel that you have to force things or rush things, because you will miss things, right? It's very important that this is done correctly, so that we don't have to return to this place and do it all over again, or so that we don't carry residuals with us. You're being guided. Your soul is trying to guide you, and this higher guidance is trying to guide you to a place where you don't carry these things with you anymore. In order to do that, you have to take it slow. You have to do it right. Right? So that's just kind of a little message is coming in for somebody. So this is beautiful. This is, you know, where we're really stripping ourselves of things that no longer belong to us, and we're opening our eyes to be able to perceive other things that we hadn't perceived before. So this is like a profound step in someone's journey. A new sort of evolution of consciousness is happening. So whoever this message is for, this is beautiful. And you feel free to leave me a comment. Feel free to like this video if it resonates for you. And until next time.